You're sitting there with your phone or laptop using one of those AI chats to write a message or look something up. And while you're doing it, you remember something you keep seeing online. People saying they make money with AI. Regular people, not big companies. And a thought pops up, what if I did that too? What if I made my own AI and made money off it? And then, almost right away, the thought disappears. Not because it's impossible. People really do it. It disappears because you don't actually know what your own AI even means, or what you'd do first. You don't know who you'd talk to, what you'd type into the search bar, how much money it takes, what people sell, or what usually goes wrong. There's no clear step-by-step plan anywhere that you can just follow, so you drop it immediately and forget about it. This is where almost everyone stops. And it's not just about AI. A lot of people at some point get some kind of idea. For you, it might be an AI tool. For someone else, it's a small online business, an app, a store, a clothing brand. Ideas are everywhere, but most of them die in the same place, on the same question: what do I actually do next? Not because people are lazy, and not because the ideas are bad. They just don't know where exactly they're supposed to start, so they give up. Here I explain in plain language how different things get built from scratch. A drink, a clothing brand, a small business, and today, AI. This isn't a course, and I've got nothing to sell you. No promises that you'll get rich, because most of this is hard, and a lot of the people who try make little or nothing. The point is just to help you understand how and on what people are making money right now, and which way of earning might be a fit for you. So let's get into today's example. If you wanted to make money using AI, where could you start, and what options do you have? The first thing to make clear, making money with AI gets understood wrong because almost everyone understands it wrong. When people say my own AI, they almost never mean they built an AI from scratch. Building a real AI, the kind behind tools like ChatGPT, costs millions of dollars, takes enormous computing power, and takes a huge amount of data. Only big companies with a lot of money do that. You, as a regular person, are not going to build your own AI from scratch, and you don't need to. So what do they mean? They mean one of two things. Either they use AI tools that already exist to do work for other people and get paid, or they build a small tool around an AI that a big company already made. And that second part comes down to one simple idea called an API. The easiest way to understand an API is this. It's like connecting to someone else's Wi-Fi. You're not building the internet yourself. You pay to use it whenever you need it. Once you get that, the rest becomes a lot simpler. There are a few realistic ways to make money with AI, so let me go through the main ones, from the cheapest and easiest to the hardest. The first path, and the most realistic one for most people, is selling AI services. Here you're not creating your own AI or building a complicated product from scratch. You just take AI tools that are already out there and use them to do tasks a business is willing to pay for. To understand how to make money on this, you first have to look not at the AIs themselves, but at the problems businesses have. Because a business doesn't need AI for the sake of AI. It needs more customers, faster content, replies to people, save time and money. Let's take a couple of real examples. A small online store needs a short description for each of hundreds of products. By hand, that's days of work. But AI does it in minutes. A restaurant gets the same questions all day. Hours, vegetarian menu, table reservations, and a simple AI chatbot can answer them automatically, day and night. The same idea covers writing real estate listings, replying to gym messages, sorting a small business's emails, or cutting long videos into short clips. These are exactly the kinds of tasks people pay for. So the setup here is simple. First, you pick one type of business and one specific problem. For example, a restaurant needs a chatbot that answers the common questions on its own: where you're located, how late you're open, whether you can book a table, whether there's delivery. Then you pick one tool and learn to use it well enough to solve that exact task. You don't need to learn everything. You can start with Make, Zapier, or N8N. They help you connect different apps and automate processes. Or with BotPress and VoiceFlow, there you can build chatbots without programming. You don't need to be a programmer. You just need to figure out one tool well enough to make one useful thing for a business. Once you have a first example, the next step is to find a business that this could be useful for. You can reach out to local restaurants, gyms, clinics, salons, stores, through email, Instagram, or just messages. But the important thing here is not to write, "I do AI automation." To most business owners, that means nothing at all. And sometimes the word AI just scares people because it sounds complicated and unclear. It's much better to talk not about the technology, but about the result. For example, "Hi, I built a simple tool that answers customers' common questions on its own, about prices, booking, hours, and services. It could save you or your staff time. Can I show you a short demo using your business as an example?" That's it. You're not selling them an AI, you're selling them the benefit. Fewer replies by hand, fewer lost customers, more free time, and maybe more leads. Fifth, when the business agrees, you charge. Usually, this is done in two parts. The first is a one-time setup fee. That is, for putting the tool together, connecting it, and making it work. The second is a small monthly fee for support to keep everything running, so you can change things, update, fix, and add new answers. For a beginner, prices can vary a lot. For example, for a simple setup, you can charge somewhere from $300 to $1,500. For support, from $50 to $300 a month. If the task is more complex, the price can be higher, but at the very start, it's fine to do the first job cheaper or even for free. Just to get a real example, you can then show other clients. You can start here with small costs. Mostly you're spending your time. As for money, 1 or 2 tool subscriptions, roughly $20 to $100 a month, plus small AI costs. So you can start for a few $100s or even less, but it's important to look at this realistically. The first jobs are almost always small. Sometimes you give a big discount just for the experience. If you keep finding clients and do the work well, over time this can grow into $1,000 to $5,000 a month, but that's not guaranteed. A lot of people stop after their very first client because they don't want to message businesses, finish projects, and constantly look for new work. The second path is selling what you made with AI. This can be images, templates, guides, music, text, covers, prompt packs, or social media materials. For example, you can make Instagram templates, simple PDF guides, stock images, or background music for videos. For text, you can use ChatGPT or Claude. For images, Midjourney. For music, Suno. And you can sell files like these through Gumroad, Lemon Squeezy, Etsy, or upload images to stock sites like Adobe Stock. But there's an important downside here. This approach is extremely crowded. Precisely because it's easy, millions of people have gone into it. Almost anyone can open the same tools and make similar images, text, or music. So most people make little on this. It usually works out for people who already have a skill, a style, or an audience. They use AI not instead of themselves, but as an accelerator. For example, a designer makes more work, a writer makes guides faster, a musician makes demos faster. But if you have neither a skill nor an audience, standing out will be hard. The third path is to make your own small AI tool. This is usually exactly what people picture when they say, I want to create my own AI. But in reality, you're not creating a new ChatGPT from scratch. That's too complicated and expensive. Instead, you make a small website or app that solves one specific task, and inside it uses an AI that already exists. A product like this is often called a wrapper. In plain terms, a wrapper is when from the outside it looks like your service, but inside someone else's AI is doing the work. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or another model. For example, you make a tool for real estate agents. The agent enters the address, square footage, price, and a couple of details about the apartment, and your service turns that into a ready, polished listing description. Or a tool for students. A person pastes in their messy notes, and the service turns them into questions for exam prep. So the idea isn't to build a huge AI, but to package an existing AI into a simple tool for one clear task. How do you even make an AI tool like this? There are 3 options. The first is to learn to code and build it all yourself. The second is to hire a developer. The third is to use no-code tools, where you can assemble an app almost like building blocks. You drag blocks, set up buttons, forms, pages, and logic. For this, you can learn app builders, Bubble, or other app builders. There are also a lot of new AI builders coming out now that help you assemble simple apps faster. But the core is the same everywhere. Your tool connects to an existing AI through an API. But before building a product, you need to check whether people even need it. The easiest way is to make a regular page where you briefly explain the idea of the tool. For example, an AI service that writes a real estate description for realtors in a minute. On the page, you add a "Join the waitlist" or "Get early access" button, run a little advertising, and see whether people leave their email. If no one signs up, that's unpleasant, but it's still a good result, because you found that out before spending weeks or months on development. Now about costs. This is more complicated than it seems. First, you pay for the AI itself. Every time a person uses your tool, somewhere inside ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or another model is working, and you pay for each of those requests. Sometimes it's fractions of a cent, sometimes a few cents, and sometimes more. It depends on how much text is processed and which model you use. Second, you pay for the tools you build the product on. These can be subscriptions to a website builder, a database, automations, hosting, and other services. Third, if you hire a developer, the price can be much higher. A simple project can cost a few $1,000s, and a more complex one, tens of thousands. And here's where a lot of people get it wrong. Say you charge a user $10 a month, but they use your tool so actively that the AI request costs you $12 a month. So you lose $2 on each client like that. And the more clients come, the more money you lose. That's why in AI products, it's important to count not just revenue, but the cost of each use. How much a person pays you, and how much their usage costs you. If that balance doesn't add up, the product can die even while it's growing. The earnings here can be big, but it's not quick money. Some small AI tools really do reach $5,000 to $50,000 a month, but usually behind that is a year or two of constant work. Testing, advertising, improving the product, supporting customers, and finding a decent price. Most people never reach that level. However you make money with AI, the money usually comes in one of three ways: a one-time payment, a monthly subscription, or pay-per-use. A one-time payment is when a person pays once for a finished job. A subscription is when they pay every month. And pay-per-use is when a person pays more if they use your tool more often. Subscriptions sound best because the money comes in regularly, but only if people actually keep using the product instead of trying it once and leaving. Now the question, how do people even find out about you? If you sell services, you need to reach out to businesses yourself, message them, show examples of your work on social media, and use sites like Upwork or Fiverr. If you're building your own AI tool, you need to show up where your future customers already hang out, in niche groups, social media, communities, on forums, or sites like Product Hunt, where people look for new tools. Either way, just making the product isn't enough. The idea that you'll create something good and people will come on their own almost never works. To put it very roughly in terms of money, the services path is the cheapest to start. You can often start for a few $100s or even less because the main costs are your time, a couple of subscriptions, and a small AI fee. Selling images, guides, templates, or music made with AI is also cheap. There you mostly pay for the tools, but creating your own AI product can cost different amounts. If you do everything yourself with no-code tools, you can start relatively cheaply, but if you hire developers, do design, advertising, and a proper technical part, that can already cost thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. And it's important to remember, the AI fee never goes away. The more people use your product, the more you pay for the AI inside it. Now the most important part, what usually goes wrong. The first problem, you depend on companies you don't control. The AI provider can raise prices, change the rules, shut down some feature, or build a similar idea right into its own product, and you won't be able to do anything about it. The second problem, the field changes very fast. What seems like a useful standalone service today can show up for free inside ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or another big tool a month later. The third problem is competition. Almost anyone can use the same AI tools as you, so you're easy to copy if you don't have a clear difference, an audience, a niche, or real value. The fourth problem is costs. If a client pays you less than their AI usage costs, you lose money, and the faster you grow, the faster you lose. The fifth problem is AI mistakes. It can confidently write incorrect information, and that can create problems for you or your client. Another common problem is that people leave fast. They try the product once, they get interested, and then they stop paying. So you constantly need to either improve the product or find new clients, or make it so the person actually comes back again and again. With services, there's a separate risk. The client might think, why should I pay you if I can just open ChatGPT myself? That's why you have to give them not just access to AI, but a finished solution. For example, a configured chatbot, automation, an answering system, lead handling, or something the client doesn't have to manage themselves. You're not selling an AI. You're selling saved time, less manual work, and a more convenient process. Who does it even make sense to try this for? It works best for people who understand some specific field. For example, restaurants, real estate, fitness, clinics, online stores, education, or content. When you understand a business, you see better the real problems people might pay for. It also suits those who are ready to constantly learn, because the tools change every few months, and it suits those who aren't afraid to message people, sell, show demos, get rejections, and fix mistakes. In reality, most of the work isn't AI, it's finding clients, understanding their problems, and getting the solution into decent shape. And who probably shouldn't do this? If you want money without work, this isn't it. AI isn't a button that makes income for you on its own. If your plan is to create your own ChatGPT and get rich fast, for a regular person that's almost unrealistic. If it annoys you that everything constantly changes and that your product can become outdated through no fault of yours, this will be hard too. And if you like the idea of an AI business, but you hate finding clients, replying to people, and fixing problems, it's better to honestly admit that right away. That's not a failure. It's better to figure it out before you spend months and money. There's a good side too. Unlike a physical product, here it barely matters where you live. The US, Canada, the UK, Australia, or another country. The tools are online anyway. You can look for clients all over the world, and you can deliver the product over the internet. The difference is mainly in taxes, payment systems, and which clients are easier for you to reach. So if we go back to the person who's just sitting there with an AI tool open, thinking about how to make money on it, the answer doesn't look like magic anymore. You're not building an AI from scratch. You're renting an AI that already exists and using it for one specific task. You pick one group of people, one problem, and one way to solve it. Either you do work for clients using AI, or you package AI into a small tool. Then you check whether anyone needs it. Look for clients and count the money, how much people pay you, and how much the AI usage costs you. You might never build an AI business, and that's okay. Most people won't, but now it no longer looks like a mystery. You understand what your own AI actually means, where the money in it comes from, what the risks are, and why it works out for some and not for others. And that's the whole point, not believing in a magic button, but seeing the real setup.